Whoa. Okay. Day 240. No, not 240. 252. We today we went on a morning run and then sent out some outbound email. Slowly progressing. So we're currently sitting at 6 a day cold outreach messages, and we're gonna bump it up a little bit tomorrow. And slowly but surely it'll ramp out. By the end of the week, should be hopefully sitting at about per inbox at least six, 6 to 8 per inbox, and then we posted our LinkedIn content. We've fixed up the so we did have to spend a bit of time fixing up the output of our AI generated LinkedIn content. Right now, I haven't really been pitching anything for back into my funnel, but I'm just trying to build out followers. So I'm actually just trying to put out some genuine insights and stuff that's worth following for, worth saving. Then yeah, obviously the goal right now is up top of funnel max. So the trying to get the outbound maxed out every day. LinkedIn content, just try to get as more many followers as I can, slowly but surely grow that account. And then I honestly do think there's just way more I could be doing with like outreach and stuff like that. But and I know that those are the tasks that actually get correlate with revenue, the top of funnel shit. But right now just I'm like half and half, kind of. I've been developing the system and I spent so long debugging it. I was raging while debugging it, and it took so long, and I could not get anything else done today. It's debugged, it's working, but it just has one last small little thing that needed to change, and then we are good. And but there was like two other things that we wanted to do tonight, and we just could not get to it because debugging that system took so long, way longer than I expected, and it pissed me off that how many things just wasn't well put together. So we really need to look back on our whole workflow creation process. Honestly, just because it's a one-time thing, I really need to figure out what I can like allow AI to develop with the workflows, and then what I have to do myself. Because doing it myself is sometimes way faster, and then sometimes it's slower. It just depends on what you do, and so I have to figure that out. It's really important for delivery, but yeah. And then we didn't get time to figure out like really finalize or even build a wireframe for our middle of funnel alternative, which is going to be very important because that's the probably going to be the target asset that we're going to be using, just because it's going to be a scalable asset, so something that won't bottleneck me. Obviously, in 2, 3, 4 months, maybe I'll reposition it and just change my funnel structure a bit and see if okay, maybe we'll try and cut out one of the steps and go straight into book a, or maybe switch out the middle funnel for a bit of an audit, and then the strategy session will just get replaced by a closing call of something similar, and that would definitely increase our sales velocity, or like our pipeline velocity, but it will increase the overhead that we have to take on a huge amount because there's a lot of calls we have to assuming our top of funnel volume is doing pretty good, we're getting a lot of traffic from inbound traffic, and the cold outreach messages are sort of working. Not sort of, they should be working. And yeah, I don't really want to get into cold calling. I think I'm all about like scalable methods right now, especially because I am a one person team and I want to remain AI native, right? So yeah, and right now, like that whole idea of being AI native and just really as keep the team as lean as possible for as long as I can. So even in the future, just try to minimize the number of people I need to take on. And so that means, yes, cold calling would be huge, and so maybe in the future we'll start adopting that practice. But for now, we're just gonna limit ourselves to only cold emails, and I wouldn't think cold LinkedIn outreach is worth it. I wouldn't do it. I just don't think, well, it can work. It can definitely work. But I'd rather just keep it to a scalable degree, you know. On a side note, I've been very married to this idea of building a SaaS product. Now, I've been thinking there are like two main problems currently that I can identify in the business. One is if I had some sort of outbound system where I can literally just type a few words and it will run the whole thing for me. I could just give it a document or a few words about my ICP, what I need, what I expect, and it will run the whole show for me. That already exists, and building something like that, it's doable, right? It's doable. I could build an app, and then I could run language models and then just put guardrails on it. It's not going to be that complicated, assuming that I can even build a good proper outbound system of some sort. It's not complicated, and I could definitely ship it. It's just that there's already people doing that, and they're doing it at a larger scale with a lot more resources. And I'm thinking about the whole economics of it. Yes, I could offer it, but that in itself is an offer, right? Like, my main offer right now is a service. If I develop that, then that inherently makes my main offer a product. You can't have two main offers, you know. Even if I try to split that main offer into two segments, then the product would then have to overtake and then become the main offer, because there's no point in offering a service that gets replaced entirely by a product. So then I'm essentially running, so that's kind of out of the question. If this is my whole business model, I'd stick to it, stick to the main offer. Economically, does it make sense building that product unless I'm completely pivoting into that product, which, you know, maybe if I close a few sales and then I can, you know, validate, I mean, obviously I can validate it. I need it, so I know it's valid. And if I need it, then other people, my own competitors, would need that shit and stuff like that. So, but the other one I was thinking about was a sort of, because one of my bottom of funnel asset is the one-to-one strategy session, and it's more or less just, you know, helping prospects or leads or helping clients, implement more AI or optimize the AI usage. So whatever it might be, whether it be prompts, tools, projects, source materials, you name it. And the problem is, while you can, I thought about it and how you would do it. It's very viable. The solution is viable. Problem is, you're looking at terrible economics. You know, LTV is fucking terrible, because then once you deliver it, what incentive is there for someone to keep using that tool? Nothing. So it is a one-time thing, and even if it's a platform, if it's a tool, it's a one-time thing. And so the only way, logically, like if you think of the pricing models, there's no pricing model that could even address the fact that, you know, once you use it, people will get value out of it, and then they won't need it anymore. And so the only, like, I guess right now that I can think of, the only viable way you can keep people on is if it the product expands to a platform. It is a platform, and it becomes like some sort of AI training, some sort of, onboarding. Like you onboard new staff, and then they go on undergo some training. But then it doesn't make sense because there's no value in that. There really isn't. If you want onboarding, there are. Yeah. So we can think of something, but I'm married to this idea, and I think it's unhealthy that I really want to keep building this SaaS product. I think I'm just recently been obsessed with SaaS products, so probably just a shiny object. Right now, I'm just trying to stick to the main offer because that's the one that makes sense. Whether or not an idea for a SaaS product comes along the way, we'll decide. And I've had these, because it's really in my head, right? I want to get to the startup world. Sounds so fucking fun and interesting, and I think I would like to get into it. But that in itself is a pivot, unless in one way or another it is a pivot, whether it be just a small pivot, because I might be developing something related to my agency, so I can stay on brand and develop a SaaS product or some shit like that, and stay within the same company. Just maybe set up a sort of, I guess, a subsidiary. But, or it could be a complete pivot into a different, completely unrelated startup. And so that's why I'm thinking, that's why I set myself some conditions. Like, if I ever want to pivot, I have to meet these conditions before I can realistically pivot, because it wouldn't make sense, No, I'll stick to that. On a side note, today, I just could not. Well, I just couldn't. I could. I just didn't give it my all. But it was about like 10 o'clock. I just clocked out. 10 o'clock, I couldn't. And I just doom scrolled, or not doom scroll. I just watched YouTube and just fucked around. I couldn't focus. That was just tragic. Today was more like I did not do. Yeah, I didn't work as hard as I could have today. Today felt like a bit of a short day. I think all in all, just like 10 hours, 11 hours. Honestly, I can do. I can definitely do better, and there was more on the table. So tomorrow, we need to show up. We'll try our best. We'll see what we can do. But I'm gonna have to try my best, and I'm gonna turn up and ship a lot faster than what I'm doing right now, because I feel like the pace that I've been delivering stuff has been a bit slow. Maybe I'm holding myself to high standards, but I honestly think that someone else could come into my position and just do a better job, and that fucking pisses me off. The fact that I'm not doing as much as I could. Maybe from someone else's perspective, I'm doing a lot, but maybe objectively, yeah, I'm still locked in. There's not really much else I do, but come on, we can do a lot better. Maybe I'm just sick in the head. Who knows? Yeah. Daily log, huh? For the first time. Yeah. Well, I want to stick this out, and I'm actually enjoying it. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy the whole process of it. Obviously, I have a very clear vision of where I want to go, where I want to be in the future. Obviously, how I'm going to do that might be slightly different. Obviously, I'm trying to stick to this agency or stick to the brand, stick to the company, because you know. Sorry, I just got a notification, or my